We are back in the building, take after take, on July, I don't know what day it is, July 9th as we record this, heading into July 10th. You will hear this on Friday. Carl Prather here on the ones and twos. Patrick Akers not in the building for another week. He's just slacking, man. What's up with him? No, yours truly was on vacation. It was vacation. Away for the 4th of July holiday. Fantastic weekend. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. This is our Take After Take show. We're here each and every week as we make our way toward the college football, NFL season, high school for all of our communities across North Alabama and beyond. If you're listening to this on Apple iTunes or Spotify, but it's available on our YouTube channel rather. On WAFF 48. You can also find us on our 48 Sports Zone app as well. We're there with video content, the video portion of this as well. And then, as I mentioned, audio versions, Spotify, Apple iTunes, or where podcasts are available. We're also on our 48 Plus app. Super excited for that as we've brought that to the forefront. That is available if you just download that on kind of your smart TV device. That's Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. So a myriad of ways to be able to locate us in this podcast, all 7.5 of you that listen each and every week. Appreciate it. But yeah, let's start with the 4th of July holiday. Super excited because I mentioned it last week. 4th of July, one of my favorite holidays outside of Christmas. But, man, this was a great one. Had an opportunity to obviously be with family and friends, my youngster, my wife, bunch of friends from North Alabama. Had a great time. Got to look on the river a little bit, on the lake there. Had a excellent barbecue. Had some excellent ribs and the traditional 4th of July fixings, hamburgers and hot dogs and mac and cheese and a myriad of pies and all this stuff. So it was just a fantastic week. Also loved the fireworks from all the fireworks shows that we were able to see across the country and stuff, celebrating the 250th anniversary of 250th year of this country. So yeah, it was just a great 4th of July. One of my favorite 4th of Julys as an adult. So it was awesome. Truly appreciate it. Another thing that I truly appreciate, here's the crazy part. I don't know about you. So I remember last year, someone on social media basically had a rundown of the athletic calendar for the year. Like we're talking maybe right at the end of the playoffs for the NFL, and then all of the first half of the year of 2026. So you had so many things, and one of those things was obviously the World Cup. More on that in a moment, but I'll tell you something I've been really watching. Wimbledon. Really good tennis. I love tennis, but I love tennis from the standpoint that I'm acting like, once again, I'm an aficionado. I'm not that knowledgeable, but just the sheer athleticism from these men and women on these grass courts across London or Europe, rather, in England, is crazy. It's been fun to watch. It was fun to see Serena Williams, the GOAT, as many love to call her, and rightfully so, is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, tennis player ever. She returned for a match, had a pretty good showing after a 4-year hiatus. But to see all of these men and women, Jannik Sinner and Novak Djokovic and this young man, I don't want to say his name improperly, but from Canada that battled Djokovic earlier this week to 5 sets. And Coco Gauff was in the mix, and Jessica Pegula, and Sabalenka, she was the 1 seed. She ends up losing. Naomi Osaka back in the fray. Francis Tiafoe, he's my favorite tennis player. He was there. This Wimbledon was fun, and I actually, because I had some time off, to actually kind of watch a little bit of it. It was super cool. So thumbs up to tennis. I know everyone, many people watch tennis, and I love the Grand Slams and stuff. But Wimbledon, it's been pretty excellent for me. So that leads us into obviously the World Cup. I mentioned it last week when we were kind of going through the group stages for the first couple of weeks. It's been unreal. I have thoroughly enjoyed watching soccer. And we'll get to the United States momentarily. But as far as just the competitive spirit and the aggressiveness I've been able to watch from an untrained eye, to be able to watch so many of these countries and these amazing players from across the world. I'm talking absolutely getting and going after it. You can, I'm saying you like I'm once again like I'm some sort of expert. It just appears to me. Look at how many goals have been scored. How aggressive these guys are. Man, I have just really enjoyed watching the World Cup from all of the teams. The times that I've had an opportunity to watch. Put it this way, I've not watched this much soccer in my life more than I have these last couple of weeks. And this is not even counting the United States of America, which we'll get to. It's just the fact that, man, the talent, the world's best, Kylian Mbappe from France. I don't know what the hell I'm watching. I know that I'm watching somebody that looks like he was manufactured and built out of titanium and steel and is a robot running up and down the pitch, scoring all of these goals. We're recording this on a Thursday night. I just got off the set for our 10 p.m. show. That man has scored 20 goals in the World Cup alone, like all time. He is like one shy from tying Lionel Messi's all-time record. And I don't even think he's 25. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that. But I know he's incredibly young, and he has plenty of World Cups still in his forefront as he continues to kind of grow as a soccer player. But I think I heard from Taylor Twellman, I think on ESPN, he was just basically saying, yeah, that dude is going to be probably the greatest soccer player ever, and he's going to shatter the record held by Lionel Messi for World Cup goals. The man has 8 goals within the World Cup. I mean, long, athletic. I mean, he can just do it all. And once again, I don't know all of the terms of vernacular for soccer with him. I just know he's damn good. That's what I know. I know that. He's incredible. And I just think it's super cool to be able to watch skilled players. Even Lionel Messi, even at his advanced age, just being able to still pick his spots and still help Argentina have an opportunity to kind of continue to contend to bring home yet another World Cup. Ronaldo bid farewell after his country lost, the end of the road for him. And, you know, for so long, it was kind of Ronaldo or Messi and what you preferred. But, man, hats off to an amazing career. You'll go down as one of the handful of great soccer players of all time, from what many of my friends and those in the know have told me, and even what I've been able to see in his prime during his career. It's been fun to watch him and his career kind of come to an end there. Same for Lionel Messi, kind of the end as well. But, man, all of these players, I mean, I'm just blown away by just the athleticism and the skill that these men have doing whatever they want to do with a soccer ball. I've just been amazed, and it's been really cool to be here in the summer months to be able to watch some really good just competition. You don't have to know what the heck is going on for the most part. You got to try to, in layman's terms, kick the ball and get it in the net. But to see the strategy and the skill and how these guys can make, clean tackles and how they can dribble and how they can stop and go on a dime, it just is astounding to me. And I just have the utmost respect to these men and, of course, all of our women across the world, and how many of these athletes are playing this game and playing it at such an elite world-class level. It is, man, it's unreal. So, obviously, that transitions us to the United States of America. Regardless of before we get into the Belgium, the joy and the excitement for the event from the standpoint of Americans and fans of soccer within this country having something to look forward to, and what I guess many prognosticators or those in the know, I guess, that have been around this U.S. national men's team have said this is probably one of the best teams, if not the best team that they've had in quite some time or ever. To see, how dominant they were in the group stage, albeit it may not have been against the best competition from a world FIFA ranking standpoint, from the things that I've gathered just listening and watching some of our analysts who've been amazing for World Cup coverage. But they were dominant, brought a lot of excitement to the country, and just the way they were able to win, it just gave you hope to maybe think that, hey, maybe they can get, to the round of 16, and maybe they can make a run to the round of 8 and see what happens there once you get against some of the best in the world. Belgium put a complete kibosh to all of that. I had an opportunity to talk to a guy that I truly appreciate, one of my good buds, an attorney here in town that loves soccer. I mean, lives, breathes it, loves it, can tell you everything about it. So I always kind of bounce things off of him. So I texted him after the Belgium match, after the United States lost 4-1, and I just asked him, I was like, I'll tell you what basically he said, and I'm just paraphrasing. He basically was saying that there were some strategic things that went on within the match that he did not like from a defensive standpoint. I guess if you're a soccer fan, you will probably maybe nod your head or shake your head in the opposite direction saying yes or no with that. But he basically said, from a paraphrasing standpoint, he didn't like the defensive looks that the U.S. had in this match, or really for the run that they've had. And then on top of that, he doesn't believe they are as far off as what the score indicated in that match. My only rebuttal to this, and what I initially said to start the conversation, was from an untrained, naked, below novice eye, it just appeared to me watching that match from start to finish relative to watching all of the U.S.'s matches prior to that, including the group stage and the win over Bosnia in the opening round of the knockout stage. It just appears to me, everyone, when I watch that Belgium was on a completely another, not level, stratosphere. Earth to Pluto, to me, was the separation of where each one of these countries are. This is no knock against the US of A whatsoever. But the one cool thing that I think that I really have appreciated from just casual fans, soccer fans across the United States, is that no one has pulled any punches like, oh, well, this could have happened or that would have happened, this could have happened, we would have. No. It just appears to me it's been almost close to a consensus that we are a long way away from even remotely thinking we're going to reach a semifinal at the FIFA World Cup. And if this was our best shot and we get housed by Belgium, we got a lot to figure out. I don't have the answers to that. We'll never, ever attempt to say that. But a couple of things just from the naked eye that just really stood out for me. Now, from my soccer buddies that were telling me, that, and I think I read this as well, that the U.S. defensively wasn't the best. The goalkeeper, relative to the great Tim Howard, he competed valiantly, but was, I believe he's an MLS goalkeeper. Fine. But obviously, I think from what soccer folks have told and have kind of let everyone know throughout the last few days is that maybe because there's just levels to being an international goalkeeper than a guy that plays MLS soccer. And there's no knock against MLS soccer players because you're a professional player, but obviously it was a tough goal to see him misplace that kick. His foot got caught up from under him. He came out of the box almost, and Belgium, like the ease that Belgium just kicked that ball in was just like, my goodness, like this is going to be a long match. And I just watching Belgium and the way they move and how under control each one of their players on the pitch were and how easy their strategy was. It was almost like from the jump, it was like, we're better than you. There's nothing you can do about this unless we mess this up. And that's a heck of a feeling to be under. Now, I could be wrong. Once again, please like, subscribe, comment, because I don't know. I'm just interested. But from all of the social media and the post game, and from so many people mentioning that this was not the same U.S. soccer team, regardless of the type of competition that they face, this was not the same team that they saw prior to the World Cup, during the group stage, just the competitive spirit, it's almost everyone was kind of like flat from all indications. But I mean, I think if you have a rooting interest, for the United States of America, if you're living in this country, right? You say to yourself, okay, man, that is impressive in that first group stage match. Domination. Second group stage match. You're already in, you clinch it. You're headed to the knockout stage. You lose to Turkey. All the backups of the reserve players, rather, are playing, obviously, because a handful of guys had yellow cards. You didn't want them to get suspended. You take care of Bosnia. Red card for Balogun. That gets rescinded. He's back in the fray. So you're saying to yourself, man, like if we can hang on. But boom, Belgium scores. And then, you had a kick that tied it up, but then boom, right back. Just that quick. I just never felt, even when I was just believing somehow, some way, just get it to second half and late into this contest, that the United States could maybe steal something and come away and get to the round of 16. There just never was a moment that I said to myself, yeah, they're going to win. Like, it was blatantly clear that Belgium was far and away better than the product that we have on the field. And that's no knock against the product that the United States has. But I think from my standpoint, as much as so many Americans want soccer to be popular, which it very well is, it's very popular. I'm not saying it's not. But I think it's safe to say that we just have, as a country, like a long way to go to potentially win a World Cup. Now, I could be completely wrong. I mean, they could turn around in 4 years and win the darn thing. I really don't know. And I'm, like I said, I'm just, this is just an observation from a view of 50,000 feet. I do not know. But I did not like that showing relative to the way that this national team had played leading up to this moment. And to show up flat, didn't seem they were so much uninspired. I get it. Christian Pulisic is caught 10 shades of you-know-what. Come to find out, he's got a bone bruise. He's going to be out for a significant amount of weeks. He's got a lot of ailing situations with that leg. But I mean, case in point, I believe the announced team said that Belgium had a $100 million player on their roster that was a sub for the second half of the game. And they brought that guy in, and it was almost like, forget trying to, like, run up the pitch with a soccer ball. It was almost like he was running full speed, like, and you would have never known he had a soccer ball in front of him. That's how skilled he was. And there was another gentleman that kicked the final goal to score it, but I just was like, okay, super excited, super happy about the U.S. At this moment to see if we can show up and show out on the world's biggest stage when the whole world is watching now. And, man, to see that, I mean, that was just a good old-fashioned you-know-what kicking. No matter how you get around it. Just got whooped. Not whipped, whooped. And, I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't know where to go from here because I don't know. But what I do know is that if earlier this week's match was any indication of how far U.S. national soccer has to go and soccer as a whole has to go, man, we got a long way to go, like Earth to Pluto, if we're going to get to this point and try to get to a semifinal or even much less just a round of 16. So, listen, it was fun to watch. It was a complete and absolute joy to watch the men's national team. Shout out to Chris Richards from Hoover, Alabama. You want to talk about dreams come true. How cool is that? Born and raised in Hoover, Alabama, you are grown up a soccer player and finally made your way through to be on this stage as the first Alabama player to play in a U.S. Men's World Cup. That is just an unbelievable feat. And listen, the United States has a lot to be proud of. Like, I mean, when's the last time we've seen them dominate, like even just have a dominant week and a half, regardless of who the opponent was? But to dominate in your group stage, you won your group stage. To win, your first knockout stage game against Bosnia, you're trying to get to this group of 16, And I get it. This is the first year this is the first year FIFA has implemented 32 teams, so this wasn't here before. So, I mean, there's some solace you can take from it, but man, it's hard to kind of wrap your head around that when you see a 4-1 blowout and to be dominated from pillar to post from the start to the end, and almost basically be borderline not competitive, man. I hate that. Wasn't a good day. It just wasn't a good day for U.S. soccer. So be it. It is what it is. Belgium advances, and we're moving toward a World Cup final here in a couple of weeks. But overall, fun to see the United States of America represent so well. Been incredibly amazing to see so many of these amazing soccer players from across the world just ball out like that is super cool. So kudos to just the World Cup. Kudos to what that has brought to televisions and smartphones and streaming apps across the United States and the country and the world for that matter, to be able to see this high-level elite soccer for the last few weeks. It's been super, super cool. All right, we'll make the transition to college football. So we are in the month of July. We've done enough silly talk and talking season and stuff, but the for real unofficial start of the college football season is going to get underway because SEC Media Days begins July 20th. That'll be down in Tampa. Of course, we'll have you covered each and every day from all things happening down in Tampa, Monday through Thursday of that week. But the Big 12 held their conference media session earlier this week on Monday and Tuesday. And obviously all of the teams represented there. I need to go back and look to see who was the preseason favorite to win the league. I believe it was Texas Tech, if my memory serves me correctly, and rightfully so, with a lot of the type of talent and transfer portal players that they have. Of course, Will Hammond expected to be the starter there at quarterback after the Brendan Sorsby debacle and situation there. As you would imagine, Brett Yormark had a quite tense standoff with the Q&A after his State of the League address on Monday. I believe a Texas Tech reporter had asked him some questions pertaining to Brendan Sorsby. Yormark decided to shut that down instantly, said that this event is not the place nor the time to discuss that. To each his own. I get it. I really wish I had more to say about that. Here's what I will say. It is the biggest story and during the offseason in all of college football, and there's a strong argument that it's one of the 10 most prevalent, more talked about events in all of sports during the first half of this year. Does Brett Yormark have an absolute right and opportunity to tell said beat writer from Lubbock, Texas, that we're not going to discuss this? Yes. Could you have had something squared away from a statement standpoint? Not anything pre-prepared, but basically some just generic talking points to basically dance around the subject, since obviously, as I understand, everyone wants to move on from that. Yes, two things can be true at one time. So Brett Yormark decided not to, said he's not good. This is not the place nor the time. Paraphrasing there, that he was not going to discuss that, and that was that. But another weird deal. I'm not going to say it's weird. I don't know if it's weird. I think it could be much to do about nothing. It could be alarming for some. So Colorado head coach Deion Sanders and his team in the house earlier this week in Frisco, Texas. That's where they held the Big 12 Media Days. But Juju Lewis, who is in the running to be Colorado's starting quarterback, had a question asked to him earlier during the Big 12 telecast, and basically, how should I say this? He was asked about the biggest changes as he tried to navigate being a true freshman playing at the P4 level under center at quarterback, from last year's offense to this year's new offense and the go-go offense. For those that are familiar with Brendan Martin, Brennan Marion, I'm sorry, they came from UNLV. So, like, Juju was asked about it, and it was basically asking, hey, like, what is the biggest difference from, last year's offensive output and things that were asked of you to do on the football field, and Brennan Marion coming over to try to revive and try to solidify this offense. And Juju had this to say. I'll just put it by my phone to see if you can hear this.
Year to now.
My play, I'm actually looking at the defenses now. Last year we wasn't really looking at defense as much, just kind of high school free ball and just out there playing football. But, it's a lot bigger than that now, so it should be fun.
Okay, I get it. How in the world is this supposed to happen? You're in a college program and okay, so don't know if you all know this or not. I've never played quarterback in my life. I know, shocker. However, I feel pretty confident that I can objectively just discuss football and positions and just how difficult it is for any player to play this game, especially at a high level, especially at a P4 level. We don't know what Juju Lewis is because he's an unfinished product, because we only saw him sparingly last year. And newsflash to everyone, I get that we have more freshmen being asked to make immediate impacts and be able to play a lot of quality, meaningful minutes, and albeit potentially impact minutes in this day and time in the age of NIL and transfer portal, that we need you now, even if you may not necessarily be ready to play. But with all of that said, Juju Lewis was a guy that was basically 6 months removed from playing high school football and now trying to decipher, and I'm just throwing it out, I don't know if you're trying to decipher a defense in Utah or Kansas or Arizona, Texas Tech. Football's hard, y'all. It's really hard when you're playing quarterback. It's really hard when you're like a center on an offensive line. Those are pretty hard things to do. Not taking away from any other position on the football field, offense or defense, but quarterback's kind of difficult. So, yes, Juju's basically saying that, hey, I guess I can paraphrase this, hey, figure it out. Okay, figure it out. I get it. And maybe there may be more, how should I say this with this pans of silence as I'm trying to think of like what I really want to say. Structure to this year's offense with Brennan Marion in this fun go-go offense that is being affectionately known as during his time at UNLV before him becoming the head coach at Sacramento State, and coming back to college at UNLV or at Colorado State. But everyone, it is hard to play a lot of positions as a freshman. Imagine trying to play defensive tackle as a freshman in the Southeastern Conference. Imagine trying to play quarterback in the Southeastern Conference as a true freshman. Guess what? Newsflash, everyone. All roads are leading toward one of these programs in the Southeastern Conference that's probably going to have a true freshman starting at quarterback in Nashville, Tennessee, and Jerry Curtis for Vanderbilt. It is going to be hard. So I understand basically, listen, it's difficult. Been around enough SEC media days and media days in general. Listen, all of these players are kind of briefed and kind of vetted on being prepared of what to say, what not to say. But there's going to be questions that are going to hit you from in and out of left field, and you're going to do your best to maybe try to answer those to the best of your ability. I can't surmise exactly what Juju Lewis is basically saying here, but what I can say is that he probably was trying to do a lot more improvisation relative to the offensive line not being great. Being able to maybe not see all of said field and just half, that is normal for young quarterbacks. There's a lot of things kind of go into that. So I think he will be better. I don't know if he starts. I don't know what that situation looks like with him in the backup. I heard Deion on the Big 12 Media Day telecast that, you know, there's a battle going on with that position for a lack of better words there. So I don't know. But I don't see how Juju or any quarterback on that roster won't be better with an install with Coach Marion and having a spring and getting ready for fall camp and trying to, you know, put out a respectable product on the football field. But a lot of people are giving him a lot of grief about that. And I'm just like, I get it. But at the same time, I don't get it because did anyone watch Colorado's offense last year? Did you watch a game? Left a lot to be desired. Just going to put it at that. So it can't get worse. And, you know, this young man basically probably was coming in there, bullets flying everywhere. You're just trying to survive, much less trying to complete a 3rd and 7 to move the chains on the road in a hostile environment at a P4 conference. Like, all of those things are an issue, especially when you're like 6 months away from playing your homecoming game and throwing for 500 yards. A little bit different level of football, if you ask me, when you get to that point. So, I don't know, man. Much to do about nothing, man. Come on. But I get it. Once again, talking season. We're going to hear from a lot of players. There's going to be a lot of quotes. There's a lot of content that's about to overload your senses if you're a sicko college football fan like yours truly, with SEC Media Days and Big Ten Media Days and ACC Media Days. They're all on the way here as we head into the midpoint of the month of July, and players reporting back for fall camp and the whole nine. So expect the unexpected. You're going to hear a lot of stuff. You're going to hear a lot of talk from all of these players and coaches. But, man, I mean, just from afar, just read on social media, like, this thing just, like, went out of left field. Can you believe he said that? I mean, yeah, he said it. Okay, I get it. But, I mean, name me a true freshman quarterback that wouldn't be saying something of that ilk or the same thing. And just, as Sam Darnold said many moons ago, seeing ghosts out there. Like, it's real. And I've never played the position. But come on, fellas and ladies that love this great game of college football or football in general, it's hard. And it is really hard to play at an optimum level as a first-year starter. Forget D3, NAIA, D2, FCS, of course, all of FBS. But even in the Big 12, it's hard, man. So, look, Juju, wish you nothing but the best, and let the best man win, whomever will win the job between him and the backup there. Coach Sanders, Coach Prime mentioned that, it's a battle there as well. But he also mentioned this is his best best coaching staff he's ever had. And that's interesting to hear as well. So I am very intrigued and interested to see if just look up Go-Go Offense, Brendan Marion, just type in Go-Go Offense College Football in YouTube, just from a TV copy, or just read about it. It is a fun offense, especially when it's going. Go back to look at those UNLV years when Coach Marion was there with Barry Odom before he made the transition to move to Purdue. Fun group of offensive weapons there at UNLV, but the offensive schematics of it all, very intriguing and interesting and fun to watch. Because when it's going, y'all. So we'll see if that can kind of translate over to Colorado and Deion Sanders and kind of have a semblance of an offense that can not only manufacture yards, but it will have the opportunity to manufacture points which in turn could improve the win total from a year ago. So we shall see. Time will tell. And as we head into the next couple of weeks with SEC Media Days and Big Ten and ACC, we'll have you completely covered as we get underway in a couple of weeks. It's just right around the corner. Super excited about that. We'll start getting into more individual team talk and look and projections and maybe have some special guests here from some of the SEC programs that will be down in Tampa to kind of discuss their team and what to look forward to heading into the 2026-2027 college football season. Like, subscribe, Take After Take. It's available right now. You can go back and watch a gazillion of our episodes that we've already posted online. You can find any of this or in this show on Apple iTunes, or you can find this on the Google Play Store, but more importantly, Spotify as well. You can download our 48 Sports Zone app on the Google Play Store or within the Apple iTunes Store as well. The video version of this podcast is always available on our 48 Sports Zone app. You just download that from your Google Play Store or your Apple iTunes. You can also find the audio version of this on our 48 Plus page as well. So there's just a number of places to be able to watch this. And as we head into college football season, we hope to have some fun and maybe have some beat writers and some guests that we can kind of chat with to kind of continue to move us toward the start of the college football season, even when we're in the season as well, just continue to kind of grow this platform. Give us a 5-star review, like and comment within one of these platforms to let us know what you think. We'll start kind of rolling out more previews as we head to the midpoint of July. And I still have to go get my physical copy of my Phil Steele magazine. Phil Steele has been always great to me, a young Cub reporter, always had time for me to be able to do long interviews. We'll have him on as well to kind of discuss some of the cool nuances within his magazine. I always love the top 10 most improved teams heading into 2026 because more times than not, he's correct about that. I'm interested to see his power rankings as well. And just kind of talk shop and teams that he is excited to look forward to potentially win a national championship when that happens in the middle of January, which is still hard to fathom and believe for yours truly. But until then, listen, go out and enjoy the weekend. I heard there's our meteorologist saying there's going to be some rainy weather there. I'm going to be here in the building. I'm going to work for my good sis, Kaylee Tinglestad. She needs some much needed time off. So I'll be in the building throughout the weekend. My kid is going to be in the city meet. Big shout out to Jones Valley Swimming. They're going to be out there. Hopefully bringing home a city title as well. Good luck to all those men and women. More importantly, good luck to all those young men and women across all of North Alabama that'll be at the city meet. It'll be a packed house for sure. So super excited for all of that. We hope that you enjoy your weekend, and we will see you back here next week. We'll see if we can drag Patrick out of here. We'll both be back here all week, a full week here in the month of July as we get prepared for the college football season. In the interim and in the meantime, take care, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next week.